Hello everyone. In last class, we had already discussed about limitations of planning, as in what are the limitations and why it will impact the organization, and we already learned in our previous classes like what is planning, importance of planning and features of planning also. So now in this class, we will discuss about what is the process of planning, as in how you will make a plan, how your plan will be effective, how it will help you to do a better planning or to form a better plan. There is a particular step you need to follow. You need to follow that this kind of things you need to think about, you need to follow, or you need to look strategize about that how your plan will make an effective and efficient manner. So let's begin with our planning process. That is, very first planning process, it also came in our exam with the name of steps of planning also. Planning process also known as steps of planning. In our exam, you can ask the question regarding what is the planning process or what are the steps to be taken to require to form a planning. So initially you need to take a first step, that is setting your objectives. While doing any plans or while making any plans, initially you need to decide what the plan are for, what are they are using for, as in what are my targets, what are my goal, so that I'll require to make a plan accordingly. As in, if your goal is to do or to take a rank or to do a merit in your examination, then you to plan regarding your study plan as well as your timetable. If you want to do to maximize the product in 10 days, or if you want to do to maximize your product or manufacture your products max to max in particular 10 days, then you need to plan accordingly. If you want to complete a project in 20 days, then my dear friends, your plan should be based on that particular 20 days only. So that's why before making any plan, you need to decide what are the objective of making particular such plan. First and foremost step is setting objectives. Objectives may be set for the entire organization and each department. While using plan or objectives, organization can set or department also set the objectives. How? Let's discuss. Like for example, top management asks you to do a project in 10 days. This is the top management, the strategy of top management formulation that they want. They want that your project should be completed in 10 days. They made a plan that how you can do the particular thing. Now, whenever this particular thing and planning in strategies discussed with the lower level management or middle level management or departments, now they need to decide that how they will manage all the resources and how they can use best kind of resources, which person is allowed, who is the best person, how much time is required. So they are required to plan for that particular 10 days only. So that's why each and every objective should be first initially set by the organization as well as department also to set your plan or to create a plan. Clear? Next is developing premises. Premises here also refers to the assumptions. Assumptions. What does that mean? Before creating a plan, you need to take some assumptions or you need to take some premises for your future also. That what kind of planning I must require, what is the future of my organizational goal, or what is the target I need to achieve, when it is able to I can achieve, or what are the pros and cons, what are the availabilities, what are the limitations, or what are the weaknesses for my organization that they can come, that can came into my organization's impact, as well as they can complete the targets, they can make their plans effective or efficient manner or not. So they need to understand the assumptions should be taken in future, as in my plan should be made as per the assumptions of future. That my plan, if suppose if my plan A is going to the work and all things are done by the plan A, then I'll do the work accordingly. But suppose if in future there is any uncertainty or any drawback or any backup or any mishappening happens to the organization, then I'll follow plan B. So what does that plan A and plan B means? Plan A and B means that you are not certain about the future, you are taking the backup plans also, that if plan A won't get completed or won't get achieved, I would follow the plan B. Clear? Planning premises are the assumptions about the likely shape of events in future. It forecasts the obstacles, problems or limitations, as in for future you forecast your obstacles, problems or limitations in the path of the effective planning, because of which plans may deviate. Planning premises supply relevant facts and information relating to future. Planning also involves relevant facts relating to future also. Like suppose in the rainy season there is the chances that I won't able to get my ship into the ocean, as in I can't get my cargo from another country, as in there are chances that always there will be a tsunami kind of access or any natural calamity will happen, then I need to change my plan accordingly. Clear? So here you need to develop your premises or develop your all kind of assumptions. What are the all assumptions you need to study, as well as what all things can happen in your near future, you need to decide plan accordingly. Clear, my friends? Next step is identifying alternative courses of action. Identifying alternative courses of action. What you want to do in this particular plan? Now, whenever you take the assumptions, now you just need to find out all the alternatives, all the options you have. As in, if you have that particular, for example, if you want to go from Jaipur to Delhi or Jaipur to Mumbai, I must say, then suppose you have plan A, like you can go via Jaipur to Delhi and Delhi to Mumbai. You can take a flight from Jaipur to Delhi and Delhi to Mumbai. Plan B takes, for example, you can take the directly flight from Jaipur to Mumbai. Plan C takes, for example, you take a flight Jaipur to Goa and Goa to Mumbai. So it all depends, as in all kind of alternatives, as in main purpose of what my plan is. For example, my planning is to go to the Mumbai from Jaipur. Okay, so in that particular case, I need to search about each and every alternative, that from Jaipur to Mumbai how I can go, what are the possible ways, what are the best cheapest rates, what are the best cheapest flights I need to find, as in I must find that what are the targets or what are the ticket bookings or what are the timings, what are the time gap between flights. I need to ensure, or I need to take all the alternatives so that I can evaluate them and do the best and select the best which is best suitable for me. Clear? So here, once objectives are set and premises are developed, then the next step would be to act upon them. All the alternative courses of action should be identified. All the alternative courses here we means about, like example, in case of flight booking we had already discussed. Flight bookings, do research for all flights dealing in that particular location. Okay, in business also you can discuss about the alternatives, as in if you want to achieve a target, you need to see that what are the kind of alternatives, what are the different vendors I need to deal with, how I can use the vendor or how I can make a product good. So you need to check or analyze all kind of alternatives which came into your impact. The flight example is generally because you had already relatable this particular concept. Next is evaluating alternative courses. My dear, this is not only completed that you need to identify all alternative courses, you also need to evaluate them also. Evaluate as in you need to identify their pros and cons, you need to identify that which particular alternative takes how much time, how much price it will take, how I can do the best thing in my particular process, how my resources should be best utilized in particular process or particular plan. So you need to do all pros and cons, all weaknesses as well as advantages or merits or demerits of your each and every alternatives. You need to evaluate on that manner only. Check that. Next step is to be weigh pros and cons of each alternatives. Pros and cons of each alternatives. Each course will have many variables which have to weigh against each other. There are some various factors or various things which can impact, like for example, if you are going to buy a new phone, okay, now if you are going to buy a new phone, or I must say, let's take the complete example of flight only, okay, so that you will relate each and every step at our example. In case of our flight, that you had decided that you want to go in which flight, you already discussed about all kind of prices and all things. Now you need to think about that, suppose flight A takes, let's take an example, suppose what you had analyzed about, there are two flights, I must say, flight A and flight B. They all dealing with Jaipur to Mumbai. Okay, suppose flight A will take 1.5 hours, as well as it is direct flight, that you will sit from Jaipur and you can go to the Mumbai directly. It is direct flight, as well as its fare contains regarding, for example, 6,500. Flight A contains this kind of features. Now my other alternative is flight B. Flight B takes 2.5 hours, as well as it is not direct flight. Suppose it is via Delhi, it goes via Delhi. That is, first you have to sit from Jaipur, then it will held at Delhi. I must say this is non-stop, or there is a stoppage in Delhi, stopover I must say, and then from Delhi to Mumbai it will take totally 2.5 hours. Yeah, and its fare cost regarding 5,250. Suppose these are the evaluations, or these are the alternatives I am looking for a flight. Now what to decide that which flight is best suitable for you. If you decide that this flight is best because this is cheaper, then my dear friends, this is not only this deciding factor that you need to decide regarding price only. Suppose you want to go to Mumbai in as urgent manner as soon as possible, whatever the price or whatever the thing, you need to go in an emergency situation, then my dear friends, in that case this flight is best. But if you had some time, or you can have some emergency, or you need to do the cost benefit analysis, then you need to evaluate this particular flight, or then you need to select this particular flight. So these alternatives should be evaluated in each and every manner for what the purpose you are using, or what are the merits or pros and cons for each and every alternatives. As in, if you are going with the flight A, it is a non-stop flight, it's a merit, but its demerit or its cons is its cost. Rather, it will take time, it has a stopover, but it is a too cheap. So it all depends upon your evaluations, whether your pros and cons of all the alternatives has been selected, or all the alternatives has done or evaluated in a good manner or not. Clear? Next, see, selecting an alternative. Yeah, we already discussed here the selecting an alternative also, that in this example you already know about that. Initially you identified all the alternatives. There is two flights for Jaipur to Mumbai, there is identification. Now you are doing the evaluation, finding the pros and cons, that is these are pros and cons, these are its evaluations, as in how much time it will take, how much is the direct flight, what is the amount, and these all things contains the evaluations, pros and cons of each and every flight. And the selecting the best flight, as in according to time, according to cost, according to stopover, whatever the you think, or according to I must say services. Suppose they are providing facilities also, they provide breakfast also, suppose, and they don't provide any breakfast or any no meal facility. Okay, in case of breakfast you can write meal also there, cause any kind of meal we can take. Or suppose we can assume the time also, that this flight will take go from around 12 p.m. This flight will depart from 12 p.m. This flight will depart from 7 a.m. So it all depends on various factors, that is you need to evaluate each and every alternative. Now these kind of alternatives are also evaluated, as in this goes from 12 p.m. this goes by 7 a.m. Then I need to evaluate what time is suitable best for me, what is the best rate for me. So I need to evaluate each and everything. Now I will select which is the best for me, as in if I want to go as soon as early, or as in whatever the charges, or as in emergency position, then I must say if whatever the time I am dealing about, the next flight I will take about for that particular emergency situation. So this is the kind we can use, or select an option, or select a best option in our business also, that which kind of alternative should be selected and implemented in our organization. I hope you are clear, my friends. Let's see. After comparison and evaluation, the best alternative is chosen for reaching organization's objectives. On the basis of merits, demerits, resources and consequences, best plan has to be adopted. What are its merits and demerits? They are talking about in our example. Yeah, merits discussed on your time or amount. It also comes for demerits also. Merits or demerits come with time and amount. Resources can be came regarding like how many flights you must take, or sitting capacity, they can be resources, or consequences morning or evening. So there are various factors: morning, evening, emergency, normal. Normal course of business. So it all decides what kind of resources or what kind of alternatives you need to select according to these particular things. Yeah, which must be the most feasible, profitable and with the best negative consequences. Your option should be most feasible, profitable and best negative consequences, as in it should be a cheapest, or it should be earliest, or it should be a best for me, or it should be suitable for me. It all decided by your evaluation or by your selection, that is which particular alternative should be selected and why. Clear? This is all about selecting an alternative. Our next is to implementing a plan. That is, in case of flights, if you booked your flight, now you want to go to the Mumbai, now you have to sit in the flight and go to the Mumbai. This is called implementing the plan. That is, while after selecting your plan, after selecting your alternative, you need to implement the plan. You won't do the cancellation, or you won't to require that you are doing like, I was just kidding, I don't want to go to the Mumbai, I just want to do the research only. My dear friends, if you want to go Mumbai, then you have to sit in the flight so that you can do your work as well as you can do your task. It also happens to the business organization also, as in if you want to complete your task, then you should implement your particular plan. Otherwise, if you won't be able to implement a plan, then my dear friends, your targets or your objectives won't be able to get achieved in an effective and efficient manner. Next, once the plans are developed, they are put into action. Successful implementation of the plan ensures understanding and wholehearted cooperation of all the employees. As in, if we require that each and every plan should be get success or get achieved my targets, only when it is implemented as and where I required, or as and when I say that my plan is followed as I must suggest it to the organization. Clear? Last but not least, follow-up action. Planning also requires a follow-up action, as in it is not a single time process. You need to change your plan at each and every stage, each and every process, each and every department also, as well as while only forming the plan, you need to follow up also. You need to take a proper feedback, proper following, proper monitoring, proper controlling of that particular plan also, as in either my plan is going as the manner I wanted to, or is it not going, or it is not able to complete my plan, to complete my strategies, to complete my objectives. So you need to understand or to evaluate that, you need to monitor that your plan is going on the right direction or not, or if it is not going to the right direction, my dear friends, now then you need to change your plan, you need to change your strategies so that your objectives will achieve your targets on time. Clear? Let's revise all the steps or process of plans in a sequence. First is setting objectives. In setting objectives, we had decided that we had learned about that initially you need to set an objective to create a plan, because there is an objective or target for each and every plan. You can make a plan for particular objective or target only. Next, we discussed about developing premises. Developing premises deals with the assumptions of future. You need to take some all kind of assumptions which is required to be in future, because future is uncertain. So you need to take all kind of assumptions which can be happen to the organization or to the plan also. Next step is identifying alternative courses of action. While creating assumptions or setting an objective, you need to decide what are the alternatives for my plan, or what are the remaining alternatives or scenarios or situations I have to work upon. I need to plan for each and every alternative, so that if plan A fails, I will work upon the plan B, or so on. Okay. Next, evaluating course of action. Then next is evaluating alternative courses, as in you need to decide what are the pros and cons of each and every alternative, what are the factors, what are the resources should be used in each and every alternatives, what are the merits and demerits, consequences used in each every alternative. Next is, after evaluating alternative courses, you need to decide selecting an alternative, or I must say selecting a best alternative. Selecting an alternative. While evaluating your each and every alternative's pros and cons, now it is up to you that what kind of alternative you want to select, which kind of alternative is best for you, which is best suitable for you, which is best source of resources or best utilization of resources for you. You need to decide which alternative is best for you. Then next step is to implement the plan. As in, whenever you selected your alternative, now it's time to implement your plan, what you made at the time of creating an objective or setting an objective. But while implementing, you need to check that whether my plan is working properly or not, whether my targets are achieved or not, whether work is done as according to me or not. So due to that, you want to check follow-up action, as in your implemented plan is monitored or controlled as and where required, as you required the particular things to be happen or targets to be achieved on time, as you require the task to be done on that particular manner or not. Clear, my friends? What are the planning process? So if you want to write in a short, then Have a look of this diagram. There are 7 points you need to learn about, and these are setting objectives, developing premises, identifying alternative courses of action, evaluating alternative courses, then selecting an alternative, implementing the plan, and last follow up action. Clear? Yeah, clear? Thank you.